I hope she hears this. Like, if you know a lady who drags around a dog near Diamond City, alright, send her this clip. I want her to hear it. Straight up, fuck you and your heffalump of a pooch. You know why I'm bringing the dog in on this? Because I reckon the dog smirked.
Somewhere on the scene, it got a little longer, so it seems.
Welcome to chapter 139 of Chronicles of a Chalky Chump. How are you all doing? I hope you guys have been well. I hope you're having a rip snorter of a day, evening, morning, night. I don't know when else you'll be listening to this. Midday, right on 12, if it's hit that where you are. Either way, hope it's gone swimmingly. And boy, oh boy, I'm mixing it up today. I'm recording this in the morning. I'm not a morning person. I was asleep, dead to the world, unconscious, half an hour ago. And look at me now, just entertaining the masses from this comfort and safety of my bedroom. And I feel good. I'm switching it up. I'm like Will Smith. I was like, my life was one way. Then I was like, turn it over and hit it. Turn around now, switch. Hey, girl, why'd you arrive naked? On the girls. That's kind of a horny song when you think about it. But I'm feeling good. You know why? My life these days has just been real good. Like, I haven't done this podcast for a few weeks. I got a lot to catch you guys up on. And I'll be honest, today is going to be a bit of a raw episode. Usually, I serve up the podcast medium rare to you guys. I do a little bit of cooking beforehand, a little bit of spicing up, a little bit of juice on it, and you get served up a medium rare. You know, it's been prepared, but you still get a little bit of juice in there. Podcast, but today, I'll be honest, haven't done a lot of planning. Straight off the bone. This is uncut, unfiltered, and that's what you're going to get. Why? Because I don't have much time to do the podcast, which is why I'm doing it in the morning, because I've got a booked out afternoon. I'm a busy guy, and I didn't want to do another week without a podcast. So yeah, but honestly, it's been great, man. I've been trying to get up a little bit earlier. I've been smashing the world gym. Okay, if I was to describe the last month of my life in 3 words, nothing but net. My life's been a fat old swish for pretty much the last month now. There was 2 blips. There's been 2 blips in that. Obviously, I did hit I missed 2 shots this month. The first one was I was in Ballarat opening for Frenchie, right? One of my mates. By the way, Frenchie's show this year, whoo, good stuff, like fire. One of the best shows I've seen. It was so fucking funny, man. Frenchie is like one of the funniest. Oh man, I just think he's so funny. And his show this year was great. So if you have a chance, I think he's doing his special in Sydney in a couple of weeks. If you're from there, you should definitely go check it out. It's a great show. Anyway, so I was opening for Frenchie in Ballarat, and I was walking around the venue beforehand. It was at the Mechanics Institute, and this was the only shot I missed all month. I walked past a sign, and you got to think about it coming from my perspective, right? You've just been straight up killing it. You're not expecting any glitches in the matrix. You're walking through life going, is this a fucking holiday or real life? Because currently feels like a vacation to me, because I'm just hitting layups from left, right, and center. I'm dropping comedy specials, man. I'm hitting the world gym like on the daily. I've never felt better physically, right? I'm just honestly like, me and Megan, we're filling out rental applications. I'm working on moving out. Like, it's just been, you got to understand it from my perspective. I'm not trying to brag, but I've just been hitting threes, dude. Like slam, like if life was the ring, right? Just straight up dunking in life's face at this point. So I'm not expecting a hurdle. I'm a straight white man in this world. You know, very rarely a hurdle's put up in front of me, and when they are, I don't even jump them. I just straight up click my fingers and the hurdle disappears. So that's what I'm used to in my life. Right? There's been limited to no struggle from here. Like, up to here is my point. So I'm walking around the venue. There's a little sign, you know, like those little, just across the staircase, a little chain blocking the staircase, right? And there's a little sign attached to the chain, probably explaining what the purpose for the chain is. I read the sign on the chain that's blocking the staircase, and I go, what? No amphibians? No amphibians? Why the fuck would there be a sign in Ballarat that says no amphibians? Do they have such a big frog problem? What's up with this sign? Then, 5 seconds later, my brain comes into the rescue, reads it properly, and says, and I read it again, and it actually says no admittance, so you're not allowed in that room. But there was 4.5 seconds of my life where I malfunctioned, and I genuinely thought there was a frog epidemic in Ballarat, to the point where they had to put up signs for frogs being like, no amphibians past this point. And in my head, I was like, geez, I didn't realize how much of an issue that was. So that's, look, except for that one minor blip, nothing but net. I'm telling you. That was one. The second moment was I keep trying to stop myself, but I can't stop. I keep singing that song Timber by Pitbull and Kesha in my head, and it's just driving me crazy. I'm like literally going, it's going down. I'm yelling timber, you better move, you better dance. Let's make tonight. You won't remember, something like that. You better live. Fuck, I don't even know how it goes. I don't even know the lyrics. I just sing the tune. But other than that, guys, I'm telling you, swish after swish after swish. It's just been 2 things. I even got my ears sucked the other day. That's the kind of shit that I'm getting around to. I'm getting around to the stuff that I've been putting on for 11 months. That's when you know that the priorities are right in your life. Like, I got just a mean, glorious suck. I got my ear canals just vacuumed. I talked about this a bit on Luke and Lewis, so I won't talk about it that much. If you want to hear about, go over there, I guess. But it was wild. I had so much earwax in my ear, it was black at the bottom. It was like coal mining, dude. When I had glandular fever, I got told that I had too much earwax, right? And then that was in January, so 11 months ago. And because up until then, I was missing shots left, right, and center. And I was not even on the court, really, for a lot of the year this year. I felt like I was struggling to make the team. But so I just didn't go do anything about it. And I've just been putting this thing off. And then finally, I was just like, fuck it, I'm going to book this bad boy in. Actually, Meg booked it in, but you know. And then I went along, and to my shock, she just went ham with this little vacuum down my ear. Then she just wiped a bit off, and I was like, holy shit, is that how much was in there? And then the lady goes, no, that was a little bit of excess bit that I got off the end. The rest has been sucked down. And I was like, oh boy. And I can hear again. Did you know birds make noise? Did anyone know that? I didn't. Well, I forgot. But all the time, birds are just chirping. Realized I didn't hear that for a year. I could not hear properly. So when you, if you saw me on tour this year, and then you said something in the crowd, and I was like, sorry, what? Probably wasn't because you didn't speak loud enough. Probably was because I was deaf, and my ears were just chock-a-block of wax, which is just a yummy image, isn't it? So yeah, I'm really getting on top of things. Been working on some hot, juicy content for you guys. I'm thinking of bringing back vlogs to my channel. I used to have this channel, Life of Luke, and I've been thinking about a lot of my content going forward. Obviously, I still want to keep continuing doing the reactionary stuff. My channel going forward on YouTube is just going to be I really want to try and do, look, I'm not going to promise anything, because whenever I promise something on YouTube, that never works out well. But I do want to do semi-regular vlogs. I want to keep doing the reactionary videos, like brief music reviews. I've got an editor on board once a week, but if the Patreon goes up, hopefully I can afford to, hire an editor a little bit more, so then trending trash and shit can come back. And then I'll keep doing bachelor stuff every year and things like that. And I also, just want to do semi-regular vlogs of which includes stand-up footage. I'll go do an activity, once a week, and I've already got a bit of a backlog. I've started filming all those. So yeah, I got some hot content in the works. Again, swish, swish, swish. That Katy Perry song, swish, swish, another one in the basket. That is literally like my life at the moment, and it feels goddamn good. I'm sorry, by the way, if you're having a shit one, and I'm just straight up rubbing it in how good my life is. But you know, when it's going well, you gotta kind of like, you know, let everyone know. Hang on, this is my life at the moment. Oh no, wait, nope. It'll be worth it. This is my life. Oh fucking hell! What even happened to Katy Perry? Okay, this is like my life in a song. And that's it. That's how I do it these days. Just nothing but net. And it fucking feels good. Except for the amphibian thing. That was pretty embarrassing. I don't know why. There was 5 seconds of my life last week where I was just like, fuck, where are all these frogs at? Like, and then I thought about it even more afterwards, how dumb of a thought that was. Like, even if there was, like, just hypothetically, even if there was a frog epidemic and they did have to put up signs everywhere that was like, sorry, no amphibians, there's too many of you, right? As if a frog is going to leap up to that sign, right, and be like, that's a frog doing ribbits, and then read it and go, no amphibians, then go, oh, fuck, not allowed past this chain. Like, as if the frog wouldn't just leap that fucking chain. It's a frog. It doesn't even know what a rule is. Think about that. Animals kind of just live recklessly. Wild animals. There's no real rules for animals. It's just like, you know, don't jump on a road. You might get hit or squished, depending on how big you are. And yeah, pretty much respect the food chain would be the second wild animal rule. Just don't, you know, if you're a frog, don't have a dip at a lion, you know? Don't be on the tree going, oi, good mane, dickhead, because that lion will fuck you up. So I reckon that's like the only rule, is like stay in your lane and also stay out of lanes. And that's pretty much how you survive as an animal. So really, if there was an amphibian epidemic in Ballarat, I don't think signage would be the best way to stop it. Probably would be poison. Yeah, that's pretty grim. So anyway, I'm just killing it. I do have one story, and this story does come with a moral. And by the way, as I said, I'm recording this in the morning, so if I'm a little bit sleepy and my brain hasn't turned on yet, that's why. I don't know why. I was just like, let's just do it in the morning. Like, usually I really wade into the day. Usually, like, you know, it's like, sorry, the camera shut off, and I forgot to put in a new battery. Damn, third miss for the month. That's no good. What was I saying? Yeah, I was just like, I usually like wade into the day. I take it easy at the start, have some brekkie, do some admin, just wake up, you know. But today I just thought I'd take the plunge, you know. I usually dip my toes in, if we're going with this analogy. Usually like get right up to the point of your thighs. Just, you know, as every guy will relate, as you're walking into a pool, every single time you get up to the point just below your balls are about to hit the surface of the water. And I don't know if you've ever noticed this, girls, but if you've ever watched a guy enter a pool, a cold pool in particular, you'll notice there's always a brief bit of hesitation, right? Where the guy, just as his nuts are about to hit the water level, the guy will go, and then you'll see him go, psych himself up briefly, and then take the plunge and take the next step in. And when you take that next step and your balls get below the surface of the water, that's it. There's no going back. You are in that pool now for the next 15 to 20 minutes, whether you like it or not, because, like, shoulders are nothing. Do girls have a point of entering a pool? Like, I don't think it'd be the same thing for girls when you get to that same water level. Like, when you get to that, I don't know why it is, but your balls run away. Your balls are like, oh, water below 15 degrees. See ya. And then they just retract in. Everything just shrivels up. Dude, like, it looks pathetic. You come out and your dick looks like a fucking crayon. And so, yeah, just watch out for that. I don't know what my point here was. Oh, my point here was today I just dove in. I just woke up and was like, had some breakfast, and I was like, fuck it, I'm going to do the podcast. And that's kind of my life motto at the moment. And I do have a tale for you all, and it does have a moral at the end. And the moral is don't let the haters get you down, and fuck fat dogs, right? Oh no, wait, that sounded bad. Don't fuck a dog just because it's fat. Don't fuck a dog. Full stop. I shouldn't have to say that. Don't fuck dogs. I meant like, screw you, fat dogs. Right, that's what I meant. That was a poor phrasing. So it starts off. This story takes place at a public workout station. Was I hitting the world gym? Absolutely. Right? Is that my life now? Of course. I'm a fitness influencer. The world is my gym. It's a revolution. Join the Luke Kidgell School of Fitness today. By the way, never too late to start. If you've been umming and ahhing about taking that plunge, all right, do what I did this morning and dive right in. But dive right into that world gym. By the way, a guy hit me up this week with a question saying like, hey, Luke, the last thing I'd want to do is be a part of the gym gang. Just want to check to make sure I'm doing it above, just make sure I'm being a part of it. He goes, I do really like swimming. The only place I can swim, don't live near a beach, is a local lap pool. Is that technically the world gym, or is that a gym? And it left me with quite a difficult conundrum. And you can let me know in the comments below, or if you can send me an email, message, whatever you think. But I think the ruling here is if you're a swimmer and you want to hit the world gym, I think outdoor lap pool is fine. But if you go to some aquatic corporate leisure center, right, where there's a gym and there's people in tight pants doing yoga, drinking juice, that's the gym, all right? And there's people put on makeup to work out. Get the fuck out of here. But if you're hitting some local outdoor pool, I'll give it to you. I would prefer, however, you take the plunge, swim in a beach, a local pond, river, lake. Doesn't even matter. It's the Yarra, all right? Put on a snorkel. Get the fuck in there. Yes, will you end up in hospital? Absolutely. But will you be better off for it in the end? Don't know. Probably not. But it is the world gym, and sometimes you got to take risks. So I was in the world gym, minding my own business, right? Leading a revolution by example. It's not about just going out there and going, come on, join me. It's about getting out there and showing everyone that it can be done, and you can make positive change without paying $10 a week or 15, 20, however much you pay to flex in a mirror at your shitty gym. Oh, I'm going to do some fucking... That's the problem with real gyms. People don't even know how to work out there. I used to work at a golf club which had a gym, right? I used to watch people work out at a gym all the time. It's very evident. People go, I'm going to the gym. And then they go to the gym and they're like, I don't know what to do at the gym. And that's a real common thing. I feel like that. I think if you are going to go to the gym, firstly, get the straw, all right? Suck a butt. But secondly, get a PT first so they can teach you. And if you want to know how to do the world gym, I might have to make up like a workout regime, like a Luke Kidgell School of Fitness plan where people can follow it. I'll see. But so what I was doing was I went down, did a 3-kilometer hard run down on my local bike trail, and along the bike trail there's various public workout stations, which is where this story takes place. I'm straight up shredding it, right? Just imagine me, like, who's a person who looks like me when I'm working out? Chris Hemsworth as Thor, right? So imagine him, right? And imagine me though, and I'm kind of looking like that. I'm doing tricep dips, right? At this local workout station, and I'm obviously getting deep. That's the only way to do a tricep dip. Get full. If you don't do the full dip, then I don't know. You're not doing tricep dips properly. So I'm working out, minding my own business, headphones in, just attacking the world, one tricep dip at a time. Obviously at a public workout station, because I would never attend a gym. I'm not a fucking fool. This lady walks past me. Very slowly, by the way. She could not be walking slower. She'd be one of those people where if she was walking in front of me down a busy road, I would audibly honk her. Even if I didn't have a horn, I'd probably just be like, honk, honk. What are you doing? Haha, beep, beep. Maybe it's a little bit of a joke because she was holding up nothing, but I could already see it being a hazard in the future, how slow she was walking. And had this fat fucking dog next to her, just this heffalump of a pooch, this porky puppy. She was pretty much dragging this swollen dog along the floor, and she looks at me doing tricep dips and genuinely gives me just the biggest snigger, like a smirk, like because I'm working out in public. She rolls her eyes at me and is like, "Fuck this fucking loser." And I looked at her like, "What?" And she just goes, "Okay," and just keeps walking. I couldn't fucking believe it. Not only are you caring more about what a stranger is doing in public, which is sad as shit, right? I was just minding my own business. I don't need her judgment, all right? Also, fucking hell. She's like, look, it was, you know what it was? It was such a bullshit. Like, it almost felt like tall poppy syndrome in a way. I'm out here just trying to better myself, minding my own business. Oh, fuck this guy for trying to, lose his dad bod and do something about it. What are you talking about? Like, I hate that judgment, man. So the moral of this story is, don't let the haters get you down, all right? I'm out here just straight up killing it, and I'm just getting laughed at by this lady who is just dragging her fucking schmacko-eaten dog along the ground. And I was just thinking, like, look at you judging me for working out when you are walking 2 kilometers an hour. Dude, if you keep walking that slowly, you're going to end up like your fucking flubbernaut dog. I was unbelievable copping that kind of judgment from just... I hope she hears this, right? I don't know. I don't think she will. Like, if you know a lady who drags around a dog near Diamond City, all right, send her this clip. I want her to hear it. Straight up, fuck you and your heffalump of a pooch. All right? You know why I'm bringing the dog in on this? Because I reckon the dog smirked. I reckon she looked at the dog and went, and I reckon the dog was like, and that's what hurt. Is this dog that can't even walk itself. Like, I bet you as soon as she turned the corner, she had to pick up the dog and walk it home. Oh my God. It was just this. Look, and I'm not afraid to fat shame an animal on this podcast. I've done it with birds before, and I'll do it with dogs. I don't give a shit. Dude, it looked bloated. It looked like it was like about to shit itself all the time. Like, its whole identity was like, oh, just gonna shit. And that's what the dog's life was. All right? Man, and she just sniggered at me. Dude, if I see her again, because I often see the same people, because I do the same bike trail a lot, and therefore I do it at the same time of day, which means often I see the same people, like just walking past, because it's the same people who are in the same routine as me. And man, if I see her again, I'm straight up going to fat shame her dog. I'm just going to be like, I don't know, like, what's a sick fat joke? Instead of like those your mum fat jokes, I'm just going to like, your dog's so fat. Like she was on the beach and they called fucking the whale patrol or whatever. I don't know what jokes are. Even though I'm a comedian. So yeah, I ain't taking that shit. That smirking fat dog. I was so angry, man. I've been stewing on this for 2 days. I'm contractually obligated to hit the World Gym for 1 week straight, no excuses. Because we started the Luke and Lewis podcast Patreon, and that was the first goal that we hit. And I've been going well. I had to start again. I got 2 days in, and then I missed the third day because we had like a 12-hour day at the warehouse. So I couldn't hit the World Gym that day. But now I'm 5 days in, and I'm feeling good. And I reckon I'm definitely going to get 7 days in a row. Every day, no excuses. Just, you know what? I'm not even joking here. I genuinely feel way better. Like I've been kind of hitting the World Gym on and off now, like quite regularly for about 3 weeks. I've missed some days here and there, but the rest days are fine. Yeah, I genuinely feel good now. I feel like I'm on the verge of being almost fit again, which is good. So that's the thing. Definitely go out there and get amongst it. You know, I'm getting that summer bod ready. Not like I need it because I'm already like looking like Chris Hemsworth and Thor. What else do I want to talk about? I wrote, oh yeah, this is the thing. I can't appreciate nice things. I don't know why. I just can't. I don't know if I talked about this on the podcast a couple weeks ago, but I flat out just like, okay, no. So I will. I don't know if I've talked about this. I think maybe you know what? I talk about so much shit. I have like a million podcasts, and I forget when and where I've talked about things. I think I talked about it briefly on Luke and Lewis. So, but what I want to talk about is I can't appreciate nice things. I got flown up to go to these music festivals in October, and the one was in Gold Coast, one was in Cairns, and it was a real nice weekend. I'm talking like straight up just, hang on. I'm talking private yachts, right? I'm talking stretch Hummers, 5-star hotels, VIP entry into a music festival. Nothing but net. That's what my life's become, right? And I'm hanging out with the Love Island contestants. I'm hanging out with Bachelor contestants. It's a cushy life. It's good being at the top of the degenerates. And I was having a great time, but what I realized at the end of the weekend is like, I don't like this. This sucks. And if I was ever rich, I wouldn't live my life this way. The only bad part about the weekend was I got flown there on Tiger. So that was the only like slum part. That's how the weekend started. I was in a fucking Tiger flight. Oh, that's what I'll talk about first. Yeah, I went on a Tiger flight. This is on the way to Cairns. And have you ever got stuck next to... It's always guys, by the way, that do this. I've never seen a girl do this. But I've seen countless guys do it. You always... Maybe 1 in every 10, 15 flights I go on, I always get stuck next to some guy. He's usually young, under 30, who sits there. And this one was particularly bad because it was a 3.5, 4-hour flight to Cairns from Melbourne. Just a guy that sits there, no phone, no headphones, no book, no interests, no personality, just staring at the seat in front for 3.5 hours. Have you ever seen someone do that? Like a fucking psychopath? I'm here playing Candy Crush, dude, doing some notes, listening to my tunes. I've got 2005 flooding my brain. I'm pumping Fall Out Boy. I'm like, sugar, we're going down swinging. Now, that's not much of a personality, but it is an interest. It's not an interesting interest, but it is an interest, right? This guy next to me, just dead to the world, seat in front, and he didn't look sad. He looked really content with doing that. He wasn't even trying to sleep. Like, usually those people go, all right, I've bought nothing. I've forgotten all entertainment. I might as well get some Z's in. And usually they just nod off and go for the whole flight. This guy sat there for 3.5 hours. It was fascinating. And at the start, I'm judging him. I'm just being like, this guy, has no personality. Like, he has no interest. Like, why wouldn't he get a book or read the newspaper? You know what I'll even give you? If you read the menu on the plane or read the safety pamphlet that's in the seat in the front of you, that's something. That's at least a person that's going, fuck, I've forgotten everything and now I'm on a flight for 3 hours. I'll entertain myself for 2 minutes by just going over and familiarizing myself with the emergency exits on this plane. That's someone who's trying their best to engage their brain somewhat in this situation. This dude very evidently had no plans on doing any of the such. He had a phone. I saw the lump in his pocket, didn't go to it once. Just was content, eyes open, listening to the ambience of a plane. This is what this is like what you hear on a plane if you take your headphones out. Oh, hello. would you like any food off the menu? There's always some like weird guy just going like. That's what a plane sounds like. And then also you get that little like constant buzzing. That's what a plane is. I would much rather listen to My Chemical Romance than that shit for 3.5 hours with this guy just dead to the world, staring, emotionless, just. And then occasionally he'd look up, he'd be like, and I'd be like, oh, he's looking for something, maybe a personality. And then he'd be like, and just look back. Have a fucking interest, you cheap fuck. Because he was also on a tiger flight with me. Have something. Oh my God. And then by the end, I think I flipped my opinion on him. I was like, maybe this guy's a genius. Maybe he's like, maybe he knows something I don't. Maybe he's got some technology where he's just watching something in his brain. And he's maybe like slaying beasts like me. You know, like I'm probably in his even in his most hypothetical fantasy, if I was the beast, you know, say if I was the dragon, I don't think he could slay me, because I've been smashing it lately. My couple name, like if Meg and I had a couple name, like it would be Beauty and the Beast. Some people are like, oh, it's Brangelina or whatever. Like, what would ours be? Leg. But no, our couple name would be Beauty and the Beast, because she's a goddamn looker, Meg. And I'm just a straight up, you know, monster at this point. Give me another week in the world gym. This is me. This is me in the world gym, getting beast level. I'm just doing tricep dips, right? Right. I'm hitting the punching bag at home. Yeah. Anyway, that's unrelated to the plane story. I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm straight up getting swishes. Yeah, so anyway, what's up with that? Guys on the planes that just don't have a personality, huh? Do something. I'm sick of that. I'm sick of seeing that. Something I've been seeing for a few years now. Never brought it up on the podcast. Just really, really bothered me. I felt like that lady in the park who was judging me. I was just judging a guy for going about his business, minding his own business. But I wasn't dragging along a swollen canine. I was just sitting there also hating myself on a tiger flight. So yeah, I end up getting to the Gold Coast, and all of a sudden things change. I get out of the bloody tiger terminal. I get picked up in a car from the airport. I'm like, well, this is nice. I get dropped off at my hotel, 5 stars. I'm talking like a room that has a bath in it. Dude, what's up? I don't need a bath. It's like a huge hotel room, balcony, nice view, and I've stayed in a couple of nice hotels, I guess, but I'm never booking hotels like that for myself. I'd rather save $50 and just have an okay time, because like that's the thing, I don't really care about shit like that, you know. People like, and then I go to this music festival, VIP area. We got a yacht to the music festival, and look, it was just full of like Instagram influencers. There was free drinks. That was pretty good. They were like, it was just, yeah, like this is how it got sold to me. They were like, oh, we're getting a private yacht tomorrow. I was like, oh, sweet. Just there's 5 of us on a yacht. They're like, oh no, it's like got 100 people on it. And I was like, well, that's not a private yacht. That's just a yacht, which is still cool. I'm not complaining, but also I wouldn't call that a private yacht. And the yacht drops us off at the festival. Then I'm like in the VIP area. I go backstage with like the Veronicas and stuff. And, you know, everyone's like, the people there were the worst people in the world. I would never want to be in that situation if I wasn't getting paid to film content for Nobby there. Honestly. Like, it's just like, it was really great. Like, it was a lot of fun seeing it once. And then, like, even, like, I felt bad. Like, they took me out for dinner, and it was such a beautiful dinner. But again, I can't appreciate nice things. I don't know why. My brain is just programmed to, like, oh, I just want a Parma, thanks. Or just some pancakes for breakfast. I'm a child, right? I like simple things. I get taken out to a 5-star buffet. We're talking any food of my choice, like exotic Asian food. We're talking like really fine cut meats off the what's it called, the spinny slow cooked, what's it called, whatever, you know what I'm talking about, slow cooked meats on a little pole. The spit. That's what I'm thinking of. We're talking like really nice salads, the best food you could ask for. I acknowledge that. I was like, this is amazing. The spread here is just phenomenal. And all I want is a Parma and some greasy chips. Because I can't appreciate nice things. And it made me angry knowing how many other people in my life would be appreciating this more than me. I'd be like, oh man, like I'd be happy to just go to a pub. But we're fine dining here. And that's great. And it was awesome. I loved it. I'm not trying to sound ungrateful. I'm just saying, God damn, if I was rich, I don't think I would buy nice things. I was watching this thing with David Dobrik during the week about how he still wears like, jeans from Target. And I was just like, yeah, I'd probably still do that. And he's a millionaire. He owns a Lamborghini. Like, I'd definitely I don't care. I was thinking about during the week, like someone asked me on Instagram for some reason, they're like, what are your thoughts on people that buy luxury like clothing items, like luxury brands like Gucci and stuff just to flex? And I was thinking about it, I was just like, there are some people that look, I think if you are wearing Gucci, it's a shit flex, even if it's real Gucci, because I've seen a lot of poor people wear real Gucci before, because like you see it on the train, you're like, yo, that's a real Gucci belt. Louis Spears, sorry, I coughed, but there's people who aren't that rich who can afford Gucci, so therefore it's a shit flex. The original people who are wearing those items, they were rich. But then I think I'm not one of those people who like see a materialistic thing and then want to have it or think it's cool. I honestly think you're a fucking dork if you wear Gucci and you're like, I tell Lewis all the time, I'm like, dude, it's so fucking dorky. It's just like weird. I don't think it's cool at all. I really don't. If I was rich, I think I often I find myself at least spending my money. Not I'm rich. I'm not saying I'm rich at all. I'm just saying the money that I do have, I won't spend it on like nice things, what other people call nice things. I'll spend it on like an experience or like a memory. Like I'll buy a ticket to see a band, or like I bought tickets for Meg and I to go to see My Chemical Romance next year because they came back, one of my favorite bands of all time. I'd rather spend my money, and that was a lot of money. I think it was like $200 a ticket. But I was like, I'd rather just spend the money that I do have on like what will be a fun experience instead of like some fucking Gucci hat or like a Louis Vuitton belt or some shit. Like, to me, that stuff's worthless. So that answers that person's question who asked me that on Instagram. I think it's a shit flex if you buy, because like the original people who were wearing Gucci, they also weren't in credit card debt. But a lot of people, I feel like, who wear that shit trying to be something they're not, just wind themselves up being incredibly unhappy. Then was like, what are you doing? I honestly, like, if I had all the money in the world, I might just convert from like buying like $30 t-shirts to $60 t-shirts, and I'd be like, whoa, this is pretty crazy. I think I need to slow down on my purchasing. These t-shirts don't even bloody shrink in the wash. Holy dooly, I need to go back to Target. Yeah, I'm weird like that, I think. I just don't appreciate nice things. I had a whole weekend I got picked up from the festival in a stretch Hummer. Like, what more could you want? And the whole time I was thinking like, fuck, like I just want an Uber and I want to go home. We were like in this stretch Hummer, we were drinking, and I was just like, oh my God, like I would rather be in my hotel room right now watching a podcast or like editing a video. And then I think there's something wrong with me. That's what I realized. I don't know. I feel like this is making people mad. Some people, it sounds awesome, and it was really fun, but like, I don't know. I often find myself in situations with like, and it's not because, I don't know, I'm just in this weird level of like, I occasionally just find myself in situations where, because I have like a somewhat online following or whatever that is, I find myself in situations where like, oh, I'll come to this VIP area or like do this. Like I've gone to nightclubs before and the staff have been like, oh, look, Kidgell, you should come back here. And it's like, you don't want to be behind the velvet rope. It's not a good time. I'm not saying that's my life and it very rarely happens, but oh man, like for example, I started watching some of the acts from the VIP area of the festival, and all these people were just in there because it was exclusive. I was like, dude, it's way more fun out there. Go where the rest of the crowd is. It's fucking going off. I was like, fuck this shit. I don't want to stay in here with all these Instagram dorks. I want to be out there with the people throwing around beach balls and singing along. It's pathetic, man. All those music festivals, it was a lot of fun. But yeah, it just made me realize that there are people. Oh, this is a great example, and I talk about it in the video. I filmed a video of me at this music festival, so I don't want to spoil too much. But the VIP, so there was a VIP area, and then a VIP area. There's always one area even more exclusive, and I say that in quotation marks, than the VIP area. So I had the pass that got me even backstage, so I could go in any area, because I had a media pass. So I was in this VIP area, and which was all like it was just Bachelor contestants, Instagram influencers, and Love Island contestants, and it was a good meme because I knew some of the Bachelor contestants, and some of them knew me because of the videos. Some of them are really nice and go like, man, I love your videos. And then I see others look at me and go like, oh, fuck that guy. Because they must get sent it or something, like me just paying them out for being on a fucking TV show, which is a good laugh. I like that. So yeah, the worst place of the festival by a long shot was this exclusive area. It was behind the stage, so you could not hear the Veronicas, Amy Shark, whoever was currently playing. They had one DJ, a speaker. It was a little tent, a patch of grass, and a porta potty. That was it. And it was, on paper, the most exclusive part of the festival, and it was just grass that had been poorly mowed. And people were out there all day because someone told them that it was exclusive. And it was pathetic. It was wild to me. I couldn't believe that. Oh, hang on. The camera's about to stop. And we're back. Anyway, so yeah, that was a thing that happened. Before we end it. So yeah, I went to music festivals. That was fun. Nothing but net. Swish, swish. Another one in the basket. So yeah, my life's been super fun. That's what I'm trying to say. And there is a reason as to why I've been holding off a little bit on these podcasts. There's a couple of reasons, actually. It's just a combination of a lot of things. I'm in a situation at home where I really can only film a couple of days a week. Meg and I have been applying for rental applications where I'm trying to move out of home, which is really cool. And it's kind of scary, but it's also will be really fun and exciting. And it will mean awesome things for my career, which is another reason why we're both doing it, because we want to do videos all the time. We want to start regular vlogs, and I just want a space where if it's 10 p.m. at night, sometimes I want to do a podcast at 10 p.m. at night, and I just can't, which is annoying. So I want to get to a situation where I'm moved out of home, and hopefully by the end of the year that will happen, and I can just therefore do a regular podcast, because I can do it like at my house. I live with my entire family, so I can't get in my bedroom, which is right next to my parents' bedroom, and 10 p.m. at night, they've all got real jobs. They have to wake up at 6, 7 a.m. every morning, some of them 5, and I can't get in there and be like, welcome to fucking... It's just disrespectful, so I never want to do that. So yeah, that's been another reason why I've been a bit slack with this podcast, which is we've been going to a lot of house inspections and getting all this stuff ready. All that shit is a pain in the ass. But once we're moved out, it'll be really fun, and I feel like it's gonna be worth it. And another thing is, I've been touring with Frenchie. That was fun. I did a week of his regional shows last week. That was awesome. But again, it was like 5 hours of driving a day. I'd like drive to and from Shepparton in a day just to do the show. But it was super fun because it was great audiences, and you're not often do you get to play theaters during the year when you're not on tour. So I always try and capitalize on those opportunities, and it's always fun catching up with your mates on the road and stuff. And I love opening for people, man. I feel like it's funny, like people after the shows, because I had a lot of fans in the audience, because there are a lot of, a lot of you guys, some of you guys might have seen me at the shows, and which is cool, and a few people came and said hi. And this one guy came up to me after Frenchie's show, and he was like, "Why are you doing this, man?" He's like, you're big enough to not be opening for Frenchie." And I was like, it's not like a thing of if I'm big enough. Like, Frenchie has opened for me before, and he's obviously bigger than me. It's like, it's not, people really see it as like support acts as like a status thing. Like, oh, if you're the opener, it means you're lower than the headline. It's like, it's so funny to me. It's like, no, dude, I just love fucking comedy. I love doing comedy. And if I get a chance to do it in front of a theater of people, I'm going to come do it. It's my favorite thing in the world. I'm not one of those like comics that have like an ego on me where I'm like, oh, I'm not going to open for, like, I'm never a person that's like, I think I'm above that. Like, I'll still go sign up to open mics if I have real dog shit new material to try. I don't like that, the ego thing. Oh, I wanted to talk about this, by the way. This podcast might be a little long, but and I've still got to get to the Ultimate Pump Up song as well. But fuck it, I haven't done one in a while. I want to talk about this. So, what was I want to talk about? Oh, yeah. A few people have been asking me about... So, Lewis and I talked about a lot. If you want to go listen to a good chat about this, definitely also go listen to the podcast where Lewis and I think it's called Uni Dropouts Explain Why High School Doesn't Matter. Go listen to that episode. But every year I get inundated with messages from people about to finish high school, going into uni, or even just in year 11, about to do exams, asking me for advice. And I never understand why. Because I dropped out of uni 6 months in, and I would say I've been largely an advocate for a lot of things that you don't need a uni degree. I don't see any value in a degree, like a uni degree, in any creative pursuit anymore. Really, it's just a piece of paper, and the employer's going to be like, cool, but are you good though? And they will probably dismiss it. So yeah. What I wanted to say is I wanted to add a little bit further to what Lewis and I were talking about. We discussed on our podcast, a quick recap, we discussed, obviously, you're moving out of high school, and we discussed, like, pressure with, obviously, we understand that there's a level of pressure that society puts on people, puts on students to go to uni and keep studying, because that's just what schools tell you to do, because they're trying to get it's kind of not corrupt, but it's essentially a business, right? Where if schools get people accepted into uni, they get more funding from the government. So therefore schools go, you need to get a good score so you can get into uni. It doesn't matter what score you get in year 12, for 6 months after year 12. You can always get into whatever pathway you want to. You just got to work hard to get there. I would say if you want to be a doctor, engineer, please go to university. I'm not saying no one needs to go to university, okay? If you're going to build a bridge that thousands of people are going to drive over every day, go to fucking uni, you dog, all right? That's not the thing you can figure it out on the spot. If you want to be some guy who's trying to cure cancer, right? It's not really like a trial and error, although that is actually, that's a bad example. But it's not really a thing where you can afford to, like, be a dickhead and make mistakes and stuff. So definitely go to uni for anything important. But a lot of people message me about creative pursuits, saying, like, I want to be a musician, I want to be a photographer, an artist, a graphic designer, you name it. And my advice is always the same, which is it's the Nike slogan, dude. Just do it. I mean, obviously, I'm a big advocate of that because that's what I did with comedy. I've never taken a comedy class, and I get a lot of people going, I want to get into comedy. How do I start? I never messaged anyone that ever. Why the fuck would you message a comedian that? I know it seems like that's a dumb thing, and like, oh, who else would you message? Don't. If you want to do something bad enough, figure it out. I just it. Sorry, I duck-goat it. I didn't say that. I'm going to bleep that. I DuckDuckGo'd it, man. Just search that boy. I was like, Melbourne comedy. And then half an hour later, I found this page for open mics. I was like, oh, it must be there. I've just figured it out. And then I went along to one and I was like, oh, how does it work? And I talked to people there and I never messaged anyone. Like, it's fine if you message me. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but like, my advice is figure it out. Because if you can't figure it out yourself, you're never going to get anywhere with it. Same with, and my main point here was, the reason why I bring it up is I forgot to add it on the Luke and Lewis podcast. And I think it's a really good point is, if you want to pursue a creative thing and you're wondering like how to get to that next level, if you're like, oh, like, for example, some people it happens a lot where people are like, oh, like, I get comedians even. This is just an example. I might get comedians who do like a lot of open mics and stuff go, man, I'd love to open up for you on the road. And it's like, or like, on your tour, I'd love to come and open for you. And it's like, that's great. That doesn't really offer me any value. Like, it's a good opportunity for you, but like, what can they offer me? Now, in the past, I usually go with people who come to me and go like, hey, happy to come film some stuff for you. Also, I would love to open up. I'd be like, cool, there's something in that for me. So my advice is, in order to get in with people who maybe you see as like high or whatever, I'm not saying that's me, but like, say if there's a graphic designer or a photographer that you really like and you're like, man, I'd love to shoot with them one day, and you want to get in with them, and so you slide into their DMs on Instagram, whatever. Don't slide in going like, man, we should totally do a collab, we should shoot, because there's nothing in that for them. Why would they waste their time doing that for you? That's the reality of the situation is, if you don't offer someone value in any creative thing, don't waste their time, is my advice. So that's what I did at the start. I offered, like when I met Lewis, we did a few gigs together. Then I was like, man, I can help you film if you want. I was like, if you ever need, me to hold the camera in a sketch, let me know. I did it with Khaled. I was like, you ever need me to... One time I went to Cranbourne and held a fucking boom arm for a sketch that never got released, right? Drove an hour and a half just to be there, right? So just do stuff at the very start where you offer people value. Then they'll see like, oh shit, he's actually like good at what he does as well. Then they'll start collaborating with you. So I think that was the only bit of advice that I left out, which is... Send someone. Yeah, so if you finish high school, you don't know what to do. Maybe you don't want to study the thing, but you really want to do a thing. Start doing it yourself. Build up skills. There's YouTube tutorials for everything these days. And if you're going to hit up someone to work with them, offer them some value. Be like, I can do this for you. I can help you with this. I've noticed this. You've been doing this. I think I can improve it for you. And they'd be like, oh shit, yeah. If someone was like, man, I can improve your graphic design, your Instagram, blah, 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 I'd be 100% open to meeting up with that person, as opposed to someone going to me like, oh, we should do a video together sometime. I'd be like, why? I get nothing out of that. And I know that's like a kind of a selfish attitude, but you get to the point where you're like, well, why? Like, I've got, other people got their own shit going on. So if you're not, that's just my advice. If you're not offering someone value, then I feel like you're not going about it the right way. Anyway, that was just my little bit of advice. Good luck to everyone. Obviously, most people have finished their exams. If you're still going, good luck. And yeah, it's not the end of the world, is my advice. If you do shitty on your exams, just do your best. People study 12 hours a day. What a waste of time. Live your life, study hard, and do your best, and then have a sick time on schoolies. And then figure out what you want to do. If you're set on something at uni, fuck yeah, go do it. If you're not sure, would definitely recommend taking a gap year. Figure out what you want to do. Otherwise, you'll end up like me with 13 grand of HECS debt because you made a bad decision a month after high school. Because I was like, oh, I need to go do a degree. So I did a Bachelor of Music Business. Awesome. Then the government cut funding, and then I had to pay 13 grand. Sick. So that would be my advice. I don't know, there's for a fact there's people listening to this with 70,000 worth of like HECS fees. So my point is, make sure you want to do something you really want to do if you're going to go to uni. Otherwise, you're going to spend your whole life paying off a bad decision that you made when you were 18. So yeah, go take a gap year, work a little, find out what it's like to have a job. Then you might find it's, what you want to do. I didn't work out what I wanted to do until 6 months after year 12. It took me a comedy festival and then 3 months of procrastinating and knowing I wanted to do it to even start comedy. So, obviously everyone's journey is different though. Don't have to base your life off mine. Obviously it's not the same and it doesn't apply to everything. But my advice would be, if creative pursuits, I get messaged this literally every day, which is why I'm talking about it, is offer someone value. If you think you can improve something for someone, that's how you get in with people who are higher, whether it's a company. Go to a company and be like, I think I can do this better for you, and I'll just do it for free. Do shit for free for people, show them what you're worth, and then that's how you get hired, and that's how you get more jobs. The amount of gigs I still do for free to show people that I'll fucking crush it is insane, and then the next time they pay me. You just do that all the time. So, that's the way the world works. Kids, I feel like an asshole. I'm like 23 and I'm giving advice. But you don't have to take it. That's just that's my 2 cents that I'm throwing in. And you can take it or leave it. Do what you want with it. But good luck to everyone. And it's not the end of the world. Just do your best. Do your best, son. Let's do it. Play the intro. It's time for the Ultimate Pump Up Song Championships. Now play the intro though. The Ultimate Pump Up Song Countdown / Tournament. I don't want to get copyrighted, so I'm just doing that myself. Alrighty, things are heating up. It is summertime in this competition because things are getting spicy and warm. And if this was concrete right now, you would not be able to walk on it, this competition, because it's fucking hot. Last week we had a big matchup, Holding Out for a Hero versus Lose Yourself. Now, when I last checked, was looking like, okay, maybe I'm in the wrong here, but I assumed Lose Yourself, and I think a lot of other people assumed Lose Yourself was going to be a clear favorite in this competition. I was wrong. Holding Out for a Hero, the last time I checked, I'm just checking again now, has just a convincing lead. The Shrek 2 version, if you don't know Holding Out for a Hero, it's the one where the fairy godmother's like, put it in C minor. Where have all the good men gone, and where are all the something? And then she's like, and then goes, whoa, she goes, hit it. Anyway, it's a banger. Holding out for a hero till the end of the night. It's had 1.7 thousand votes, and Holding Out for a Hero is just destroying 63% to 37% for Eminem. You would not want to be Eminem right now. Oh my God, he's sitting there with his palms are sweaty, going, oh shit, mum spaghetti, I'm going to lose this competition. And he is. So he's lost it. Lose Yourself has officially been knocked out, which means Holding Out for a Hero, Shrek 2, one of the biggest upsets, I think, so far in this competition, has moved on to the prelim finals, playing off against Thunderstruck. So the winner of that will make it into the prestigious grand final, the finale of this competition, which has been a bloody roller coaster. It's been a journey. And this week we have a new matchup, which is You Give Love a Bad Name, Bon Jovi, versus Kanye West's Stronger. Now, recently, Kanye West has come out with some quite different music, some holy tunes. He did a new album all about his devout, is that the right word? Devout Christian? I don't know. I'm not really religious, if you can't tell. But yeah, we're doing his old shit, Stronger. And as always, may the best pump up win, and good luck to everyone competing in this competition, which is just John Bon Jovi and Kanye West and the rest of the band members from Bon Jovi. But good luck to them all, because it's a thing that I'm sure they'd be talking about. Oh, have you heard on the Memoirs of a White Guy podcast? We're up against Kanye this week. Oh shit, we better tune in. I'm assuming that's a discussion that happened in the Bon Jovi camp this week. So they're playing off against each other, and I don't know who's gonna win. So if you don't know You Give Love a Band Name, by the way, it's Shot Through the Heart, but you're too late versus You to not kill me, can only make me stronger. I need you to hurry up now. You give it. So this is Bon Jovi, ultimate pump up song. I think undisputed banger. Right? Verse. Even that right from the start, that is just like gets you up and going, doesn't it? And this is more of like a real workout song. Like here, hit the well gym. Sometimes I listen to this where I'm doing my tricep dips, right? And I'm being smirked at by a fat fucking dog. Right, so they're playing off against each other. And yeah, vote for the ultimate pump up song. The voting is now just on Instagram and YouTube. The Facebook group has still shit itself and will not let me post in there. Not sure what's happening with Facebook. Zuckerberg needs to fix his shit. So yeah, that's how this competition is shaping up. Holding out for a hero. Congratulations to the fairy godmother and everyone who contributed. And to be honest, not a song that I thought was going to make the prelim, but at the same time, I'm bloody stoked it's there because it's well deserved. And it was one of my favourites going in. I just didn't think the world would agree. But clearly I was wrong. And clearly there's a lot of true Ultimate Pump Up Song fans voting in this competition. And Eminem, you're not at the top anymore, man. That you look on the top of every BuzzFeed list. All right, we are breaking the norm here because Lose Yourself is usually top 3 on any pump up song list, but has not even made top 6 in this competition. So that is it for this week, guys. A bit of a longer podcast today. Thank you very much for tuning in. I will see you guys next week. Hopefully I'll try and get another podcast out for you. And yeah, as always, been a bloody pleasure. Make sure you don't take shit from fat dogs, right? If you're out there in the world gym, you see a fucking pooch smirk at ya, kick it a little, fat shame it. Don't kick it, that's violent. But definitely fat shame it, verbally abuse it, only if it smirks. And yeah. And then start a podcast and abuse its owner. Great. All right. Thank you very much for listening, guys. I'll see you next week. The Whitest Boy That Ever Lived merch, I think, is going to be restocked soon on the website for all the people asking about that. We did sell out of the first lot with the special, and now we have ordered some more so people don't miss out. So if if you want to get a Christmas present for your white friend, get them the Whitest Boy That Ever Lived tee to show them that the basic. So, yeah. See you later. Have a good week. Bye.
So